Crazy HOA Karen calls the police over my new roof, but she didn't expect this. Before we jump into this absolutely ridiculous story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more crazy HOA tales. Now let's dive in. A much-needed upgrade, but HOA Karen had other plans. After years of dealing with a leaky, outdated roof, I finally decided to invest in a brand new one. I wasn't trying to make a statement. I just wanted my home to be safe and well-maintained. The work was completed in just a couple of days, and honestly, the new roof looked fantastic. I was finally able to sleep peacefully, knowing my house wouldn't turn into a swimming pool every time it rained. But my peace didn't last long. I stepped outside to admire the finished work when I noticed someone standing on my lawn, arms crossed, tapping her foot impatiently. It was Karen, the self-proclaimed queen of the HOA. "This roof doesn't match the neighborhood's style. It's a complete eyesore. I've already called the police." At first, I thought she was joking. Who calls the police over a roof? But the smug look on her face told me she was absolutely serious. I let out a deep sigh. "Karen, my roof is perfectly legal. I have all the permits and approvals," she scoffed. "HOA rules override permits. You'll regret this." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But before I could argue, I heard the sound of sirens in the distance. She actually called the cops. 20 minutes later, a patrol car pulled up, and 2 officers stepped out. They looked between me and Karen, clearly expecting something serious. Karen marched up to them, full of self-importance. "This man installed an illegal roof. It's unsafe and a hazard to the community." The officers exchanged a glance before turning to me. "Sir, do you have permits for this construction?" I nodded, already prepared. "Of course! Here's the paperwork, the contractor's certification, and city approval." I handed them everything. They skimmed through the documents and looked back at Karen. "Ma'am, this roof is completely legal. There's no violation here." Karen's face turned red. But it ruins the uniformity of the neighborhood. It's an eyesore." One officer sighed. "Ma'am, we don't handle complaints about eyesores. We deal with real legal issues." Karen was fuming, but she wasn't done yet. "HOA rules say, HOA rules don't override city laws, ma'am," the officer interrupted. "And calling 911 over a non-issue? That's a waste of police resources?" Karen's mouth snapped shut. The second officer stepped forward, clearly annoyed. "Miss Karen, if you file another false report, you could be fined or even charged for misuse of emergency services." Karen's face twisted in frustration. "This isn't over!" she spat before stomping back to her house. I thought that was the end of it. But the next morning I received an official HOA violation notice in my mailbox. Apparently, Karen had wasted no time trying to get back at me, this time through paperwork warfare. The letter stated that my roof violated community uniformity standards and that I had 30 days to replace it. I laughed. She really thought I'd fall for this. So I contacted my lawyer. Together, we drafted a response reminding the HOA that their rules don't override city permits or state laws. I also made it clear that any further harassment would result in legal action. I sent the letter directly to the HOA board, and guess what? I never heard from them again. Karen stormed back inside, humiliated. But the best part? She didn't step outside for a week. Her war against my roof was over. My home was safe, legal, and exactly the way I wanted it. And Karen, well, she learned that HOA tyranny has its limits. Lesson learned, Karen can whine all she wants, but the law doesn't care about her HOA power trip. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more insane HOA stories. See you in the next video.